All right, welcome to the warm-up. Kevin Calabro, Jim Moore, the go-to guy. I've reviewed the last couple of warm-ups, Jim, and I noticed that, it's Clayton on TV.
Clayton, yeah.
Let's pause for a moment of silence as the professor brings us the latest on quarterback Carson Palmer, who has sold his house in Cincinnati. And I guess, where's he moving? Do we know?
Well, Clayton said that it's not going to happen. Is it Mike Smith, the guy there, the GM there?
Yeah.
That Corey Dillon.
Well, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Corey Dillon tried to
Brown, Smith, Jones.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, whatever.
Surprising that I wouldn't know the name.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Corey Dillon tried to do the same thing. I think Clayton was telling us several years ago, and Mike Brown was saying no. And so it sounds like Carson Palmer, if he's putting this out there, is probably either going to be a Bengal or he's going to retire.
Wow, that sounds like a good choice to me, man. Retirement, if you could do it.
At 33?
If you could do it, given what he's been through with the injuries, the knee, remember the nearly catastrophic knee injury he had? He's had elbow surgery the last couple of years. He's rebounded beautifully from those injuries. But he's how old? 31, 32 years old?
Yeah, he might be, right around there.
8, 9 years in the league. Would you call it quits? You're going to try to...
Well, if I were him, no. I mean, looking at it from my viewpoint, no. I'd probably want to play 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah. You get the feeling, though, that at home there's a move afoot to say, Daddy, you can stay home full-time, and we'd be just fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, just reading between the lines on that story. Of course, the subtle notes there are that Pete may reach out to Carson Palmer, and who knows, he may be here in Seattle.
Well, anytime there's a guy who used to play at USC, there's going to be that connection.
Yeah. But it's got to be a trade, and as the go-to guy says, they're saying no to trades there in Cincinnati. It makes no sense to me because they may be able to get a low first, high second round pick out of a quarterback the stature of Carson Palmer. Why wouldn't you do that?
Well, yeah.
If you know he's not going to play for you, get something in return.
If you were the Seahawks, you'd give up the 25th pick for Carson Palmer, but they'd want more than that, wouldn't they?
I don't know. I mean, Philly wants more for Kevin Cobb, and he hasn't done nearly what Palmer has done, although he's 26 years old, and he's a healthy young guy. All right, also today, McShay has upgraded the status of Jake Locker. We'll talk about that a little bit. But big news in the NBA. Jerry Sloan has resigned as the coach of the Utah Jazz, one of the hard-nosed guys in all the NBA, old school guy, very successful coach, one of the greatest coaches ever, by everybody's account that's ever been around the guy. And he has decided to pack it in.
I was actually saddened to hear that.
I was too.
And I was surprised to hear he's 68.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he was that close.
He's 68 years old, and you would not want to mess with this man.
No. I remember him as a player. Remember him with the Bulls?
Oh, yeah. He's country strong, as they say, Jerry Sloan. I'm not sure what happened there. If he got crossways maybe with some of the younger players, or if he emotionally it just had come to a time. They've lost 10 of the last 14 games. They lost an emotional game last night to the Chicago Bulls. Carlos Boozer, ex-Utah Jazz, now in Chicago in town. There was a whole build-up to that. There's the thought that maybe he had a falling out with his point guard, Darren Williams, there. But whatever the case, when Sloan says he's gone, he's gone. I'll tell you where he is right now. He's on his John Deere tractor, just in time for spring plowing. Seriously. He's got a big old cattle farm in southern Illinois, and that's where he is. He's the only guy I know in America that has a tractor collection. A John Deere, John Deere tractor collection. Jerry Sloan. That's the kind of guy you're dealing with. This kind of guy you're dealing with here on the program. He's got a haircut today. Look at it.
Like that?
Going into the Marine Corps. Go-to guy going into the Marine Corps.
It's kind of that drill sergeant look.
That's right.
Shannon, do you like it?
Shannon Dre, our fashion
Shannon
consultant.
doesn't like it at all.
Shannon says, Semper Fi, and good night, everybody.